Hey guys, I am a fitness influencer now. Woodworking is dead. In all seriousness, since January, I've run about 155 miles. So yes, this entire video is a flex, and I made it so that I could tell you guys that and you would be proud of me. I'm not really training for anything specific, but I would like to do a marathon and a half marathon sometime in this year. And when I do that, they give you these cute little medals, and I decided I'm gonna make something preemptively to hang them on. And because my daughter is also an athletic phenomenon, I'm gonna be making her one as well. I have this really cool piece of mesquite that I want to do an epoxy pour with, and I think that I'll make my sign out of this guy. But first, I gotta clean up the edges. You want to pull off all of the bark on this material because if it doesn't come off now, it might separate with the epoxy later, which would be horrible. Okay, so here's my slab all processed out, fit in my Crafted Elements silicone mold. I have a pretty good idea of what I'm gonna be doing creatively, but I'm not gonna share that with you yet because today's the first day of pouring epoxy, and I'm gonna bury some things in the epoxy to make it more cool and pop culture-y. The first thing that I need to do is lay down a thin layer of epoxy that's probably colorful, and then I'll embed the items with a transparent layer of epoxy. So for now, let's mix up that first layer of epoxy. I'm using this super clear liquid glass epoxy, and it's a 2-to-1 epoxy, which means if you put 10 ounces of this guy in there, you gotta put 5 ounces of your hardener in there. Let's just arbitrarily put some pigment in here. You obviously don't want to mix in a way that stirs in bubbles to your epoxy, but as you mix and pour, some bubbles will be inevitable, so I use my manly little blowtorch to pop those bubbles as they occur. If you've been following this channel for any time, you know that I'm a little bit of a nerd. I have these Lego superheroes that I'm going to try to incorporate into my board and make it look like they're trail running. I'm going to add some rocks from outside and some flags to make it look like a legitimate long distance run. That way my plaque makes sense. Okay, so obviously the flash has to go into this. I've already put kit flash in here and blue flash, but my son lost his helmet. I found this blonde wig here, or just hairpiece, and the flash has blonde hair, so I have to figure out a way to incorporate the flash, something with speed, obviously, which is his specialty, and make it look good. So we're gonna do that now. All right, he's running so fast, his body is horizontal. He's running up the hill. That's what we're going with. We got Batman carrying a bomb, paying homage to Adam West, Batman. I do have a few more guys I'm gonna incorporate, but I'm gonna let those be a secret. All right, no peeking over there. I'm gonna go ahead and mix up the clear coat for the top. And by clear coat, I mean that extra 1-inch thick layer of epoxy that has no pigment in it whatsoever. And as you can see, all of my Legos have been placed. Just don't look too hard. I don't want to ruin the surprise. Spoiler alert, my daughter was not happy that I used some of her pieces.
You took my head. I really wanted that.
You didn't even know I took it, girl.
That was my head. You don't just take stuff from people. Ask. Okay, dude?
Now that my board is out of the mold, it's time to move on to Colby's. For my daughter's medal holder, we're going with a live edge maple, and obviously, we gotta do some pink pigment, which I let her pour herself. Slow, go slow, no, don't splash it. Just... Ooh, that pink. Looks good. Smile. We're not embedding anything in her epoxy, so after it was done curing, we took it right out of the mold and drilled holes right into the epoxy because that's where we're putting the hooks on this one. But we are laser engraving it with that iconic girls rule message. Oh yeah, I think hers is better than mine. Video editing is a weird thing. It's been about a month since I filmed the intro to this video where I said I'd run 155 miles, and now my mileage is up to 226. And on top of that, I ran a half marathon yesterday. And not only did I run the half marathon, I got 3rd place. So now after I sand this plaque up, put the hooks on it, and hang it on my wall, I'll have something to hang on it. All that was left to do for my plaque was all my finishing touches, which included rounded corners, using this laser cut drilling guide that I made, to place 13 individual hooks because, you know, I'm gonna be stacking up the metals. Well, like usual, I got a little overzealous. I did a part of the project that should be done as one of the last steps, where I need to flip this over, lay it flat, and put the hardware on the back. So that's gonna be difficult with these hooks on here. I'll figure it out. To be able to hang these guys on the wall, I'm using my router and a keyhole bit, and I'm just hogging material away in the back. That way I don't have to fasten anything metal to them. The last thing I need to do, which I should have done earlier before I put the hooks on, is sand all the way up to 800 grit. I want to make sure that this epoxy is as transparent as possible. In my board, obviously I've got to have the 3 flashes out front. Superman is in the sky closely behind the flashes, with Batman chasing closely behind, Nightwing and Batgirl distracted by love, Cyborg flying, Robin way back in the back, and you know Aquaman is confused and thought this was a swim and not a run. All that I had left to do was to hang this bad boy on the wall and then toss my metals up there. I even added some hooks on the side so I could put my race bibs on this plaque as well. Sadly, my daughter said she had more metals than me, so you know I had to flex on her and bust out the high school metals and fill this board up. Alright, now that my metal holder is all done, I can put all of my attention into finishing up Colby's. The last thing that I'm going to add that sets this one apart from the one that I made for myself is a small little photo frame that my wife made. I'm going to glue it directly onto her plaque. That way, as she gets older and plays different sports, she can customize it with a picture that's relevant to what's going on in her life. Who has the most medals now, Colby? Huh? And this moment is exactly why I build things like this, for the great reveal where she's super duper excited. Hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I have a question for you. If I were to design and sell some of these like my daughter's, how much would you pay for it? Because I'm interested in listing them on Etsy, but I have no idea how much they'd go for. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you watched this video and thought to yourself, man, that was so good, how can I give this guy money to repay him? Then you're in luck. I have a lot of stuff listed on my Etsy store that you can buy to support the channel. So head on over to reformationwoodshop.etsy.com to grab something.